Hey everyone, it is officially chili season, and no better time to do it than the Packer-Viking game. So being keto friendly, we want to do things that are maybe a little not so, let's just say, conventional chili. So I've taken portobello mushroom and I've chopped it all up nice and small. I have a yellow onion, and I have some celery and just a little red pepper just to add a little color to our chili. I'm actually going to be mixing ground beef with ground turkey, and I am going to, instead of using tomatoes, I'm going to use some tomato paste and some beef broth. Now, I have people living in my house that are not really doing keto, so I did buy some black chili beans. They're a little lower in carbs than traditional beans. And I will throw some tomatoes in with that. And of course we have taco seasoning. Now we live in a small town, so I didn't have time to run to our co-op and get all the organic stuff that I would like. So we're just gonna make do because we can't always eat organic. And then I have some sour cream. So this is just a quick little video for you to get used to making chili. All right, so in our pan, we're going to take our peppers, our onions, our celery. I did crush some garlic in here, and we're just gonna like saute that. We've got our bacon going in the oven. Let's add a little yummy flavor to that. So we're gonna make our bacon crispy, and I actually like to use the bacon grease to flavor our vegetables. We'll just put that back in there. It's just about ready to add. Not everyone in my family likes mushrooms, so we're going to add these to a separate pan. We're gonna saute everything until they're nice and soft, and then we'll add it to our chili. Okay, so I have cooked down my vegetables for both mine and my family. No mushrooms. So now what I want to do is I'm going to put these both just into their baking pan, just so they can simmer in some of the juices that we're going to add to it. And we're going to dump this into here, because now I'm going to saute up my meat, my burger. So what I like to do is I actually like to take turkey and beef together. So I'm just going to put a half, basically, of the burger in one, and half the turkey in, so 1 pound of turkey and half a pound of ground beef in each section. We're going to saute that up. We're going to add our chili seasoning, salt and pepper, some garlic salt, and just let that cook down, and then we're going to add it all together. So we'll be back. All right, our hamburger is now cooked, and we're going to add our chili seasoning to it. When I'm making like a double batch like this, I like to cheat a little bit. So in my big pot where I have all my vegetables that are cooked down, I like to just add, not the beans, but just a little bit of the juice. And if I get a few beans in there, it's not going to kill me. But just a little bit of that bean chili sauce. Then I'll dump the rest into the family. Get that in there. Tomatoes. I'm just going to add a little bit of the juice, and then I'll dump the tomatoes into theirs. Those are a little higher in carbs, guys, so if you do add them, they are going to add into your carbs. Now I just take 2 tablespoons, and then I throw the rest into the family chili. Put that in there. And then we're gonna do our chili powder. I'm not one to measure. I like to dump it in just to my meat. I've already added salt and pepper, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more. We'll leave theirs. I'll show you theirs later. Let's see. Oh, and bacon. So I've made bacon nice and crispy. I'm gonna throw that in here. A little extra for them. And because we're not using tomatoes, we do need to have something that's going to give it that liquidy sauce, right? So I'm gonna add the beef broth. About 1.5 cups. And I'm just gonna turn up the heat and let that all simmer together. And then I'll add more beef broth to my big pot once that cooks down, and I'll kind of just taste it and see how it's going. And then we can kind of just modify as we go. All right, we have added everything together. I did add a little bit more beef broth, so in total, about 2 cups of beef broth. And then I did add about 5 to 6. I like lots of flavoring. I love chili seasoning. You can even add a little extra ground cumin if you want. You can add some red pepper flakes if you like something maybe a little bit more spicy. So I'm gonna just sprinkle a few in there. I added my bacon, my vegetables, and it is delicious. So I'm gonna still let this simmer, but I know you don't wanna wait, like I don't wanna wait, and we're gonna give it a try. So because keto, we do wanna have a little bit of sour cream in there, right? A little good fat. It's okay to do so. Now for my families, what they'll do is they'll do all this. I'll probably shred some cheese when we decide to sit down and eat. And then I'll probably let them put a little tortilla chips or something. What is great, if you haven't made it, is the fathead pizza crust. So I make mine and I freeze it. So what I do is I bake it on the parchment paper and then I just cut it into strips. You can heat it up in the oven if you want, but I'm just gonna have it with my chili. Let's see how it tastes. It is so good. It's delicious. So don't think because chili has beans in it and tomatoes in it and all of that that you can't make a savory chili, because you can. And not only is it super easy, but it is so delicious. And you can add things. Don't think you need a recipe for this. Just know that you can't eat a whole big pot of it, but it's got all the essentials. It's got the vegetables, it has the protein, it has the fat. You could even, in your bowl right now, add a tablespoon of MCT oil and give it a little more fat, and you'll be good to go. So do not pass this football season by without making chili keto style. Have a great one.